Hey, what's up everyone? Crypto Harvest back here at it yet again with a new video. Today is June 26, 2026. Wow, that's a lot of 26s. What we have today is it is a monthly video of ours. What that means is we are going to be doing the weeklies but also the monthly farms to see how much interest and harvested tokens that we get. And this will determine how much sort of money we make on a daily, weekly, monthly, and also annual basis. So this is going to be an exciting month. First off, though, we should talk about Bitcoin. It has been pretty rough, kind of rebounded near the end. So we see over the week, right? We started off pretty strong, pushing 65. I think we briefly actually did go over 64,000. And then we hit a new low of like 58,000. Right down here. The main trigger of this was a lot of ETF outflow from like the US spot Bitcoin ETF. I think there was almost like $500 million traded in one session, just showing that there's been an institutional decrease in demand. What happened here also is like this mental barrier, right? Once it dips below 60K, right? Right here, dip below 60K, right? And that's a barrier that was sort of like met. And then you just see this dip below 50, dip below 60, dip below 60 again, and instantly shot down to 58K, right? This liquidation event, I think this right here liquidated $1.5 billion in crypto positions from the long traders. Not only that, but also other factors like your macro factors that make it significantly worse. The Fed's latest signals kind of pointed towards possible rate hikes going forward, pushing investors away from more speculative assets like gold, silver, Bitcoin, etc. We also see capital kind of going into some of the other rotational sectors, a lot of industrial, like Micron, AI, stuff like that. Kind of got like an uptick there, but then Meta and some of the tech stock got like a decrease there. So all over the board, a lot of rotation here. So we're going to be very choppy next week too. But this really doesn't matter because all we're doing is farming, right? So it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes to 50, goes to 100K. We're long-term horizons, right? We don't really care what happens right now. In 10 years, what happens? So look at this, right? Even in the max, what is it? In 10 years, you're looking at like 10 times increase, right? So, I'm sure there's a lot of things you can nitpick about it, but as long as we keep with our thesis, Bitcoin will go up. We're farming, doesn't matter. It goes up and down. Doesn't really matter. If it goes down, we buy more. If it goes up, we don't buy more, but we don't sell, and then we just keep investing into some of these farms. So the theory is this, right? As long as Bitcoin, goes down, like if it trades at a discount rate with like a lower RSI, whatever, all the indicators, then what you can do is you can buy more Bitcoin, right? Let's say it's like trading at a premium and it's like at an all-time high. Then we don't trade so much Bitcoin. Instead, we buy some of these like higher yield farms, right? So we're looking at more of these like egg farms, for example, I'll be loading up on. But if Bitcoin is low right now, then I'll probably buy some like Ethereum, buy some Bitcoin, buy some of those like higher value, like stronger stocks, crypto coins that will, I think, eventually go up in price. Okay, so because crypto is sitting around 60, what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to buy some Ethereum or some sort of farm this week. So without further ado, I'm going to do my harvesting. I'll update this chart for you guys, and I'll get you back with the new numbers. Yeah, okay. All right, everyone, we are back, and we have a total of $34.44 that we make on a daily basis. Now we make $241 on a weekly. Monthly is almost 1,000, and annually we're at 12.5K USD. So all of these numbers were updated. I have these two new farms I added onto the account just last week. So now, in addition to what we made before, we are now earning an additional $6.65 USD a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but again, this compounds on a weekly basis, and eventually this number would just keep exponentially growing higher, and we'll be earning quite a bit of money. So I do appreciate everyone watching this video. If you do enjoy this content, please remember to like and subscribe. But with that being said, Crypto Harvest, peace out. Sorry, I lied. There's one more thing I wanted to add here. I wanted to create this farm. It's called the ETH WBNB farm. So how I would create this, so these are just some of the money that I earned from earlier. What I did was I transferred around 30 bucks into Ethereum. I have around 60 bucks in BNB, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a liquidity. So there's two parts of this that earns us money. The first part is making this pool itself, it will earn us some passive income, right? Let me show you. It's a V2 pool, BNB Ethereum. When I max out the Ethereum portion, I'm depositing a total of $71. An annual APR, just from like its estimated fees from people swapping, is 0.72% interest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly create this pool. But this isn't the only amount we make. We don't just... There's actually 3 ways that we make money from this. First, we earn this 0.72% APR. Out of no questions asked, you make it. And when the underlying assets appreciate in value, we make money that way too. The third way that we make money is we deposit it back into this Dino farm. And when we do that, when we deposit the money back into the Dino farm, that's where we also earn income. We earn it from the passive yield that is given from this farm. So what do I mean by that? Let's first go into the liquidity pool, which I just saved over here, nice and simple. I'll go in here and I'll find the liquidity amount that I have. So right here, I have a balance of, right here, this 2969, this amount. So that's the balance. The pool ID that we're adding is 7. So once I add this in, right, and I deposit this in, this would passively earn me income, like basically permanently. It'll be earning me income. What I mean by that is, let's say I go into the read contract and I want to read the pool that I just made. I made 7, right? So then I go into pool, I go into pool info, I type 7, right? So this is what I mean. What it does, it allocates a certain amount of rewards to this LP pool, and because we are owners of this LP, we get a percentage prorated of that amount. So the allocation rewards are 700, and this is the rate at harvest. So some portion of this, anyways, it equates to X amount, right? So we know that in our farm here, our Dino makes around 2777. That is passively what these rewards give us from the sum of all our farms. So all of these farms passively give us around $27 a week. That's crazy, man. Like the amount of capital I put in here to my rewards, you don't see it anywhere else. But the reason you don't see it is because it's so difficult, right? I'm showing you guys this because I want you guys to also be able to make money, be able to become financially free. It's not that simple. You just have to put in the work, put in the research. And if you keep watching these videos, you will understand eventually how to do it. All right, so now this is actually the end of this video. If you do like this content, remember to like and subscribe. And finally, see you in next week's video. Peace out.